Hi, it is February 13th. It is the day before Valentine's Day. I wasn't really aware of it until I went to the store this morning and it was wall-to-wall flowers and pink and red and hearts. And then I've been looking out my window all afternoon as I've been working here, and it's been a steady stream of flower delivery vans going by. So yes, it is indeed the day before Valentine's Day. And it's usually my habit on Valentine's Day, my tradition, to post an article about what it is to be single and to try and broaden that conversation, because I think in a lot of Christian circles it's still kind of a taboo or an uncomfortable subject for a lot of people. So I've written that article. I will post the link along with this video, but I know that we don't all have time to read the articles that we see posted on Facebook. We don't want to read most of them if you're anything like me. So I thought that I would just unpack one point by video, and then maybe then if you're interested you can go and read the rest of it. And this is something that a conclusion that I've come to in my 49 years of being a single woman on planet Earth, and it's been kind of a long meandering journey for me through satisfaction with life to dissatisfaction to downright anger about my marital or non-marital status. And I came to a conclusion probably 10 years ago that I really think is beneficial not only to me but to my sphere of influence, and I wanted to share that with you. I think there's a tendency, particularly for us women who are getting older and still single, to decide that the longing for relationship, the longing for romance, the longing for exchanging our oneness for two-ness, that's actually a vulnerability or a weakness, and we don't like to sense it in ourselves because really there's very little we can do about it, right? And so I think there's a tendency, and I've seen this in adult women as well as in the students that I've dealt with over all these years, there's a tendency to put a lid on it or to think that we should. If I can just tamp this down, if I can just relieve my consciousness of this desire for somebody else or for a complementary relationship, then my life will be easier. Then I won't be wasting all these emotions on something that I can't control. And I understand that that makes life more manageable. I understand that because I think I quite successfully managed to talk myself into that for a few years. But I recently came to the conclusion that that vulnerability, that longing for connection, that longing for relationship, whatever the nature of that relationship, I think it was put in us, I know it was put in us by God, because He created us for relationship with Him. So He hardwired us for longing. And yes, many of us who are single and have a strong relationship with Him still have this longing or yearning or desire for a human relationship that is intimate and that is romantic and that reassures us that somebody picked us because they saw something in us that was lovable. And that's the part of the longing that I wanted to extinguish all those years ago. But here's what I've come to believe, and I think it's true. Contradict me if it isn't. I believe that that yearning for God and that yearning for, in my case, man, that yearning for true romantic intimate relationship is connected to so much more than just human or divine relationship. And I believe that when we put a lid on it, we are also putting a lid on our ability or our desire, our impulse to nurture, our ability to empathize, to comfort, to sense the needs of others, to step into the despair, the joy, the sadness, and the longing of those that God puts in our path. And I think that by amputating the desire that is so uncomfortable and bewildering and frustrating on days like today, I think that we are also amputating our ability to really have a gentle, beautiful, authentic, feminine impact on the world around us. So that would be my caution to you if you are young and female or older and female and contemplating how much more practical and convenient it would be if you could just erase those longings from your mind and from your spirit. I encourage you not to, because out of that same well of femininity comes everything else that is good that we can offer to this world. So I know, trust me, I know that there are years when you just don't want to want anymore. And I get the impulse to put a lid on it and to live above it and beyond it. But my experience has been that by doing that, I'm actually depriving myself of the fulfillment of investing in other lives out of that place that is created for relationship. God did create us for relationship with Him, and I think we need to honor that part of our femininity. So, have a good Valentine's Day. Click the link to read the article, and I'll be back someday, who knows when, with another video update.